Hi, folks. Wanted to let you know about the complaint process for the FCC. My experience is consistently like 100% of the time that no telecom company is compliant with the American with Disabilities Act. And so I wanted to let you know that, especially if you live in a state where filing an ADA federal complaint is difficult to do, if the bench is stacked against you, which it is in my state, um, and certainly in the current administration that we are in, where DEI um, is not considered to be a good thing, and you're going to get hit with a lot of barriers to that. I wanted to let you know that the FCC right now, for the moment, is taking those complaints related to telecom. Now, there's lots of other things to complain about your telecom service to the FCC about. We don't even have time to get into all of the things, but I did not know when I filed my first complaint, because things were getting completely out of hand about a week ago. I didn't know when I filed that complaint if it would be a hard process, an easy process. I thought if it's an easy process, I'll do it. And if not, I don't have the energy right now. It turned out it was an easy process. So a lot of complaint processes are. Sometimes we get kind of overwhelmed thinking about them, but a lot of them are pretty straightforward and do not re-traumatize you, which is really important when you're trying to take care of yourself. So I just wanted to show you for a second about those, and I'm going to share my screen for that. And it is right here. So this is where you want to go for that. It's consumercomplaints.fcc.gov. It's in English, but if you need help in Spanish, there are other ways. You can see at the top from this URL that this is EN, so it's English. Probably if you put ES, you would get Espanol. Um, so to file a complaint, whether that is about, um, sorry, there's like a weird Zoom window that you can't see, but I can see in front of me. Um, if whether it's phone or internet or TV service, radio, emergency comms, or access for people with disabilities. I haven't actually done this one yet. I may do it, but so far I have filed one on phone and one on internet. And I tell you, for all the complaining I've done over phone and internet service before, I've never told anybody I'm going to file an FCC complaint against you. And I started doing that 2 weeks ago, and now everybody wants to be my friend. You shouldn't have to do that in order to get proper customer service, but I'm just saying, I mean, do what you have to do. It doesn't mean you're being ugly about it. It's just, you know, you got to do the thing that gets you the service. So, I mean, you're paying for these services. So I'm just going to give you an example. This is the form for most of these. It might be a little different for the the accessibility piece, but if you just click in, you start your complaint, um, you're going to give them your email address. Just, pick a subject. This is where in description, you're going to tell them all the things. Okay. Again, you don't include your PII, your personal identifying information, but you are going to tell them the things. And then you're going to get an option for type of issue that you're having. Is it not available? Are you having weird billing? Are you having an equipment problem, interference, privacy, speed? I'm going to put down billing here just to give you an example, because then it's going to kind of give you a down click option into different ways that can be. So I'm going to say service charges in this case. And then all of them end up asking you your method of internet. You may not even know. I mean, you probably know it's wireless if it's wireless, but these other ones you may not know. I don't know the difference between cable and DSL and fiber. I mean, hell, you know. So I'm just going to put fiber just in case it helps bring anything forward. And then you're going to put the company name, and what that means is the company that services you. Just be aware that this one sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, so you really have to be careful to make sure that it hits the one that you wanted. It's not going to be like if I type F here, I'm typing F and nothing is happening. It's not going to give you that. You're going to have to scroll all the way down, which is super fucking annoying. Your relationship to the company is whether you're a customer or not. Have you contacted the company? You probably have if you're making the complaint. And then you're just going to put, a way for you to be reached, right? You have to give a phone number. But it gives you a place to do your attachments, right? So I just show you that because um, it's really straightforward. Okay. And as I said in my other video about keeping Americans connected, internet program, I've never seen these companies give a shit about customer service, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I mean, today I spent 2 hours on the phone and didn't reach somebody for the first 45 minutes. And like I reached out to both companies I was dealing with on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I just need a written option for how to cancel service. And they just would not provide it. They said, you have to call this number. And I said, that's illegal. You can't require me to call your phone number. You have to provide me as a disabled person an option that is in writing. I said, I cannot always speak, and not everybody speaks. You cannot require that I do that. Um, so anyway, and you always remind them, you know, if you choose not to help me within the next hour, I will report you by name to the FCC. Most people making, 11 to $35 an hour don't want to be reported to the FCC. So, I wouldn't want to be. So anyway, that is just a tip on how you also can file a complaint with the FCC. And that way, I mean, you can threaten people all day, but if you actually do the filing, then there's really some integrity behind it. And as you can see, like you can say as much or as little as you want. I'm pretty thorough in what I put in my descriptions, and I haven't hit a character limit yet. Usually I hit character limits pretty fast. So um, there might be a character limit somewhere, but it's not going to be prohibitive for you to explain what you need to explain. Plus, you've got the attachment option. So that's really a good thing. So if you needed to say a lot more, you really could. You could just attach it. So anyway, I hope that helps. I know it's really frustrating, and especially it's frustrating anyway, like even if you're not disabled. But if you are disabled, it's especially important. And the other thing I'll say about the FCC complaint is that they respond quickly. Like I filed one yesterday. They've already been in touch to ask me follow-up questions. Now, they weren't great follow-up questions, and they were about accessibility. Frankly, I didn't know if they would even take on the accessibility question. Because ADA is such a specific part of the law, and I didn't know if FCC would deal with it or if they just tell me, oh, we don't deal with that part, and then I'd be stuck again. But they did engage it. The questions they asked were kind of not very clear. And it wasn't clear whether they were asking me for my diagnoses or what, which if you have not filed such complaints before, you want to be aware that the ADA quite specifically the person might ask for symptoms that relate to why you're asking for the accommodation, but they would never ask for diagnoses because they don't want your HIPAA protective information. But at the FCC, they didn't know that. And so they wrote me in an email, unencrypted, asking me for more information. And I wrote to them back and I said, what kind of information would you like? I know that HIPAA protected information would need a portal or a link to provide that into, and I don't see a link here. If you're looking for symptoms or, really if you're looking for symptoms or pain level or anything like that, I'm going to need a link. I'm not providing that to you, through Yahoo Mail or whatever. So just be aware of that. Get up on what the ADA actually provides for you. But even if you only know a little, you're always going to know more than the person you're talking to. You just always are, because these people don't get trained worth a fuck. They just do not get trained. And that gives you always the upper hand legally. And you just bringing it up is going to tell them that you know more than they do, because they don't know that they're breaking the law. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. Toodaloo.